Going live now, and I'm very excited. And this has been actually a real challenge for me putting this all together. Not because I don't know my stuff; it's just complicated to put together. Presentations is great. So, so stay put. I've got a wonderful gift for you at the end, and we'll be starting in a couple of minutes on the hour, as promised. So, we got some light rains here in Hawaii. And tomorrow I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to get up super early, like, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the morning or something, and jump in the car and drive up to one of the mountains around, I don't know, 11,000 feet. I'm going to shut the door here and keep the rain out. Up to about 11,000 feet. And then I'm going to be doing this all on a fast, and I've done it before, and I'm going to shoot for the summit. But we'll see if that actually happens tomorrow or not. But so it's coming up. We're just going to wait another minute and get going here. So, you know, this is for you. You know, if you've got any sort of, if you've got, you know, pain, low on energy, you know, you're tired all the time, even after a good night's sleep, that sort of a thing. You know, plus with the pandemic and all the scare tactics that's going on now, it's really compromising our immune system. And so in today's episode 2 of the Wellness Wednesdays Q&A sessions, health coaching, I'm going to get you going and get you answers, and keep going with this every week. And so let's go for the host scene here with me coming live at 6 p.m. California time. There we go. So, aloha. So, getting your healthy questions answered, or your healthy questions answered. And really, in this episode, I really want you to be prepared to be shocked. I know I'm saying this, but it's more than just a pun, tongue-in-cheek. It really is for real. And I'm going to be sharing that with you as we dig on in here. So, this is Q&A Wednesdays for episode 2, and it's my pleasure as Benedick Howard to bring this to you, and to bring over factoids that I've been putting together over the last 3 or 4 decades of, you know, health questions that are basically ignored and or scum. You know, just like there's some really good health practices out there that actually, even though I've been a health coach, some of them I didn't even do myself until the last few years. And that's when things really began to change for me. So I'm really excited to be part of that agent of change for you potentially too. And I'm very excited to be here in that place with you and having your attention here watching me. So let's just adjust that a little bit and get a little bit less exposure on there. And that looks good too. So here we go. Let's start with the slides, and as always I've got some great slides for you. Actually, I put them together over the last few days, and one of the questions I'm going to be answering today, or one of the things that I really want to bring to your attention today, is why this small country with a population of 750,000 basically went from, in this century, you know, 2000 on, in this century they went from basically no diabetes, heart stuff at all. They were very primitive, no roads as such, but you know, the tracks and stuff, but very few vehicles. And then in around 2002, everything changed, and they put pylons up and etc. etc. So I'm going to be digging into why that was happening, and some research that's been done by, very important research that's been done by this gentleman here, The Invisible Rainbow. It's a book by Arthur Furstenberg. So I'll have a quote out of that. There's like, oh, so much stuff in this, I know, hundreds of pages, and but of real importance and interest to health seekers like yourselves. So let's move into the slides here. So this is 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. what am I saying? 3 p.m. No, 6 p.m. Pacific, well, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I got that all wrong the way around, but no matter. Let's move on. And but before we begin, this is my Q&A session. I try to keep it to not more than 30 minutes long, and it's full of literally life-changing value and cutting-edge information. I really want you to get this and not just like pass it over. So please, please make sure that you're somewhere quiet where you can concentrate, take notes, pause the video if needed, right? And be engaged for the next half hour. As what I bring is covering potentially, is going to change everything you thought you knew about your health. Right. And don't say that lightly, it's the truth, and so this is where we're going to be going. So I'm excited to be able to have the guts and the intellect to put this together for you. So, getting healthy questions, answers, be prepared to be shocked, right? Frustration, depression, and to quickly turbo boost your immunity right now. This is what we really need. We've got to get our system super clean so that we can think and do the critical thinking. That's the only way that we're going to get through this stuff. And so without further ado, let's jump right in. So, as you know, my basic thing around this is the mitochondria. And this is what I have really been digging into ever since I started using microcurrent devices back in 2002. And it's become more and more apparent and important for us to really understand the mitochondrial connection. And I have a really interesting factoid that I'm going to be sharing with you later on, right before I answer your questions. So, stay to the end because I've got a cool prize for you. A little bit on myself, my background. Ashtanga yoga practitioner. Most weeks I do high altitude hiking up to 14K on the volcanoes here in Hawaii. Unbelievable, unbelievable. It's beautiful up there. And been seen on British, TV and etc., etc. But basically, I'm an engineer by profession back in the day. This is back in the 70s, and ended up working for General Electric, and then quit after I came back from Africa and couldn't do the corporate scene anymore. So since about 1985, I've never paid any taxes. I've been completely under the table, so that I have like archives of, which I share with you when you come into my coaching. So that aside, this is not about selling you on my health coaching, which is of course extremely incredible and gets remarkable results. And actually, I have an extended bonus because of them. Talk about that later, should you wish. So here's where I hike to, right? This is the top of Mauna Kea at around 4,000 meters, or just under 14,000 feet. And I have and I do Ashtanga yoga, and that's by the ocean there. But this is where I love to be, and this is really so amazing. So that's where I'm going tomorrow, is because of the information that I'm going to bring you in a few days. And this is totally true, totally possible, and it's totally hiding in plain sight. People have just forgotten or become disconnected and lazy from the way that this can be done. I'm 69 years old, so I've been around and I've seen a lot of things that work. And so I've also coached all sorts of people, including Claudia ... She was a senior leader and she cleared up those infections and the stuff that was going on for her in 3 months. Sleeping problems, major sleeping problems, and we got him back to sleeping. And then, of course, the other stuff can be taken care of once you're getting good rest, etc. And Dr. Roberto from Bologna, and you're helping people, and I start to make the best of myself too. God bless you all, and thank you for being my clients, and it was a pleasure working with you or with them. So stick around to the end and don't miss my gift to you. And if you're alive at the end of the question that you will get if you're live with me at the end of this broadcast in just 20 minutes. So let's talk about ideological subversion just a little bit, and talk about how the world has become what it is. And I really want you to take notes on that word, ideological subversion, because I cannot tell you all about this. You're going to have to do some of your own research, but it's really about how all of the systems became infected with ideologies that destroyed and subverted all of the previous known values. And one of the ways that they do that is calling you a conspiracy theorist, and which is, of course, total bullshit. And but that's the way they do it. They're crooked behind our backs, they're crooked to our faces, they're crooked in the courts, they're crooked everywhere, in the medical system, in accounting systems, in everywhere you go. Crooked to the core. And it's all because of the way that they've been able to mastermind this ideological subversion. Now, the good side of this is that the people that do awaken, and I'm hoping that's you, is that you become really, you know what's going on. And so that's what my plan is. So again, please make sure you're somewhat quiet. You can concentrate, take notes, and pause if needed. And may engage for the next, 20 minutes or so. It's only 20 minutes, guys. I've got some really cool stuff. So, to advance to the next phase of growth for your health, and you must evolve your mindset. That's where it is. That's how I get to the top of those long 8-hour climbs or 8-hour hikes to get up to the top of those volcanoes. It was really about me changing my mindset and really making better decisions and actions to create different results. And if that's not for you, then this is not for you. But what I'm going to show you in just the next moment is for you, and I really want you to pay attention. So, this invisible rainbow book, bam, and I suggest you get the copy of it, Arthur Thirstenberg, and read it. But, basically what he's done there is he's showing how the different electrification of the planet has caused different events. And starting with the telegraph wires back in the 1800s. And each time new electrifications, it could be radar, it could be FM, it could be AM radio, it could be FM radio, it could be TV signals, and more recently, of course, it's all of the microwave, cook you from the inside microwave towers and cell phones. And now, the trouble with this, of course, is this is all ancient history, but we have one place, this little country, Bhutan, beautiful, beautiful country. It would only allow 1,000 visitors in each year. This is back a few years, it might have changed. But it's nestled between China and India there. And, look at that picture up on the left. Now, up to 2002, basically they had little or no electrification. They had generators, yes, but there was no power plants and that sort of thing. The incidence of disease in that population, that mostly rural population, was minuscule. We're talking, the normal stuff that we see here in the rest of the world, all compared to the rest of the world. But that was all about when King Jimmy Singve Vanchuk ceded some of his powers to a democratic assembly which wanted to modernize the country. And this is what has happened to Bhutan, and has also happened prior everywhere else on the planet. So this is a clear-cut case of how this happened in in this century. So they went from a rural, no Wi-Fi, no towers, no lampposts, no electrical stuff, hardly any cars, etc. Wrong slide. The towers came in, the cell phones came in, all the washers and dryers and all the cooking stuff came in, and bam, look at this. What happened in Bhutan, diabetes rates soared at that time. In 2003, there were, actually that's an error on the graph, I don't know if it's 0, but it's close to 0. 2004, they had 600 plus cases. And as you can see, by 2008, they had 2,500 cases of diabetes, and I think it was 91 deaths that year. Never seen it before. A clear-cut example of what electricity does to the subtle energies on the very reason why I'm bringing this to you, because you need to know these facts and take precautions. So instead of it making good things happen, it literally, like this pixelated image here, everything begins to shake around and get fried, including your immune system can. So now my gift to you is in optimizing fact that is the case. And the reason for this is that they're not allowed to talk about it. It's published. So that's why no way more graphic. My cursor here. See that membrane there, right? Which is only 20 trillions insulating properties, even though it's so small and thin. But so that's a huge amount of voltage in such a tiny membrane, right? And what it works out to, it's 8 million volts per meter across that membrane. Now I want you to really think about that. There are over 6,000 trillion mitochondria in the body, each one of them with a voltage of 8 million volts per meter across those cell membranes. So if you stack them up like a one to the next, if you boost, hang on a moment, if you boost this voltage up to a healthy voltage, because when we become depleted with energy, or if we're subjected to even food, and I've just come out of a 19 or 20 hour fast, so just ate more energy during the day and more focus and more body healthy, then a lot of other things take care of themselves, or the body can take care of it because it's got the voltage and it's got the power to do it. So let's talk about fasting. Now Lindy, my partner, wrote this into me last night, and I was just thinking about it because the form that I spent 2 days putting together wasn't working, and I didn't get any questions from anybody yet. And I haven't checked right now, but we're in the middle of this. But Lindy was asking last night, how do I increase fasting beyond my 14 hours or so? And saying that she got, hungry and jittery when I try not to eat breakfast. Truth of that is that it takes time, it takes practice. But one of the things, and I'm going to share that with you for you in a moment, one of the things that I just did, for instance, yesterday, was I went online. Actually, I was on another site, and you know how things happen, and you go online and you find stuff out, and I'm just looking up the app name. And the app name is Zero, and it's a total health app that you can download on Android or for Apple. And that's a good way of doing it is to set yourself limits on how long you do want to fast. If fasting is your concern, and I suggest it damn well should be, and I'm going to should you on that. I know it's totally up to you, but you should be fasting, and so get on with it. And now on YouTube and get the notifications, so when I do go live, you can stay connected with me. Now, I'm not going to be offering these for free forever. This is just not a good business model. What I'll be doing is I'll be offering some of them free, but others I will be asking for a nominal donation, or you'll be able to will get these as well. But the heads up on that, there will be a time when these won't be free, so grab this information and take action steps on it whilst you can. So as you saw from last week, we were looking at aspects of fasting and what to do and what not to do, and it's like stick with the veggies. Don't go with the fruits. Total bullshit lies. And that way you can get into a fasting mode or have actually very high quality nutrients into your system. Now, it's quite amazing what can be done. And the other day on the right here of this lady who fasted, I think it was for 4 months. And look how she changed, right? And, right here, from there to there, a huge change over that time. So you can see how our system was totally stressed out. She's not a very happy camper. But on the right there, she, you know, maybe it's just the mood that time and when she took the photo, but she looks far more centered. And I've got your fasting, you've got 3 hours, 55 minutes until you can have your meal, that sort of thing. But in that Zero app, they have a very thorough survey that they do on your history and the type, you know, the stuff that's going on for you. And for me, it's like hiking and jogging, running, and stair climbing. I call that stair climbing, but it's actually going up thousands of feet. And of course, yoga, because I practice Ashtanga yoga. And so, you know, that's a little bit of my history in there, and something that you might want to, and I suggest you do consider as well if you're not into an exercise regime yet. You should be now, because you've got the time, guys. So, and now my gift for you. So if you would like to combat stress, anxiety, low energy, etc., tiredness, etc., insomnia, etc., confusion, negativity, frustration, depression, and quickly boost your immunity right now, then Lockdown Coaching is the way for you to go, right? And on my site in Lockdown Coaching, you can get a free 5 immunity boosting tips. And well, I need to move that way, right? Tips. And let's go and dig in there a little bit further. So, boost your energy and master the lockdown stress and all of those different qualities in there. And what I've done is I've done a lot of the videos whilst I've been hiking, and up in the so they're just beautiful videos of amazing views across well, literally hundreds of miles from up there. And so there's just beautiful videos, and it's not a sort of, you know, I'm in action, you know, and I'm not a couch potato health coach by any stretch of the imagination. So let's have a quick look at that site and go from there, and then we'll close it out. But basically for Lindy, actually Lindy made a comment just a little while ago. She's keeping timestamps for me. Thank you so much, Lindy.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And she keeps timestamps for me, well, actually for you, so that you can come back to important points that you want to reference later, and they will be down in the description underneath the video. So like, subscribe, and do all of that good. It really shows to me that you care, you know, and because I certainly care to spend like probably the better part of 30 hours in the last few days getting all of the ancillary stuff in order to make this stuff go real. And
question answer.
okay, so Lindy's saying I should answer the question, but I don't know quite what the answer would be, Lindy, because what happened with Lindy is after she made the question, right, where is it? Here, after she formulated the question, she had the answer, right? Right? And that's huge. It's so typical, right? It's like when we, you know, don't know what we're doing, but then we start to figure out what we could be doing, and then you start formulating those questions, then the answers fall into your lap. And so for you, Lindy, what was the answer?
Oh, I just did it. It was easier because I formulated the question and set a limit on myself. And that was noontime, not having breakfast, but starting with lunch.
Okay, so yeah, so Lindy was saying, I don't know if you could hear that, but I just wanted to sort of clarify it. Lindy was saying that she's having formed the answer or the question, then the answer came to her because she started thinking about it and what she could do, etc., etc. And lo and behold, today, how many hours did you go today?
16.
You went 16.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and basically it's like these things over here, when you start to, you know, graph out and make yourself, you know, make it really obvious what, you know, what you're doing, and you start to map it out and you set some goals as a good coach or a good student would do, then that's what happens. You get these, you know, these answers come automatically to you. So let's move on to just connecting with these websites. Okay, so thank you, Lindy, for asking that. I really do appreciate it. And I could have, I've got tons of other questions that I could have pulled out from notes that I've kept over the decades. But that one was particularly on my mind because last week we covered the cold showers and the cold thermogenesis. And so this week it's totally appropriate to begin with the fasting. And of course these are, let's just get these up for you. Lockdown coaching, let's just move these ones down. I don't see anybody on YouTube doing anything. Questions? No, nothing. Okay, so let's close that one off. Bam, and go to that one. So here we go. And so boost your energy and sign up here. This is lockdowncoaching.com. And I'm going to give away 5 advanced immunity boosting tips, that you can do at home during the lockdown and cope with the unique stresses that you have during these challenging times. And again, this is for you if you're anxiety, stress, low energy, tiredness, insomnia, confusion, negativity, frustration, depression, etc. Yeah, I take my hat off to you. Fortunately for us, we're positioned here. We're growing some of our food and stuff like that, so we don't have these nearly so much worries as I'm sure you do. So yeah, so you'll get my 5 immune boosting expert tips. And what I've done is I've laid it out in a course and into a members area so that it makes it totally automatically delivery to you. And as more people, and this is just brand new, and as more people sign up to this, they will get, we'll have more Q&As on these Wednesday Q&A sessions. But also what I've done is I've got, and I don't think I can highlight things on here, but I've got it so that I've got like prizes and gifts that I have set up for you once you achieve these different lessons and bring them into your daily routines. And also for referring this training to others, there's other prizes too. Some of them would be, a private health coaching session with me and stuff like that. And incidentally, if you are interested in getting the health coaching with me, please let me know. And what I'll do is we'll set up a time to talk and see what's going on. I'll send you some questions to be answered. And yeah, let's put this back on over here. I'll send you some questions to be answered before the call so that I have a really good scope on where your energy levels are and how you're feeling and what you want to achieve. Maybe you saw the live stream from last week, but that was just amazing with a quote, with a testimonial from Tracy, and she'd actually just completed a 6-day fast. So go and watch that and look how bushy-tailed she is. So having said all of this, I think this is time to fall out. We're at 30 minutes after the hour, and I didn't want to go beyond that. So go ahead, sign up. Let's get you going and take care of you. And so that's lockdowncoaching.com. Yeah, there we go. And it really, really happens. Lockdowncoaching, etc.com, and we can take it from there. So all the very best health